Hi, thank you for tuning back in. My name is Fonny. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I always say the same word, but it is different this time. As you can see, the background is different. I got my big Monstera behind me, and also I have a different lighting. It is because today is the moment of my favorite time of the day that I want to show you the new growth that I have spotted during the winter season. I know that in winter time, a lot of plants are almost in dormant status, but I did manage to spot some new growth and I'm very excited. And I also want to share how I kept them. So potentially, maybe you can apply similar thing. So then you can have your plant growing as well. Yeah, well, let's have a quick look. Starting with this one, this is the Kentia Palm. It gives you the best tropical vibe. And what I spotted the new growth, as you can see over here, this is the new shoot that come out around a week ago. And then you also see another bigger one over here. Normally for Kentia Palm, I find it quite difficult to keep because I always have brown tips as like this one over here. And a lot of the time before new shoot comes up, I always need to cut one to two existing branches. So I feel very bad every time when I need to cut the Kentia Palm. But now, as you can see that there are actually new growth spotted during winter months, what I think is the key tip is to have the soil moist most of the time. Because if you see here, the soil I used is basically just come together from the nursery or the plant store. But the different thing that I did is I also added a humidifier, so then it constantly have moist on the leaf. And I also added an additional light, so when it needs some more light, it can have that even though it's further in the apartment. So let's move on to this huge. This one is very big. Actually, I have my friend helping me to bring this one back. And if you see this one, this is the Monstera Deliciosa. Because the leaves are so big, it takes a very long time for a new leaf to grow. And what I spotted just probably a week ago, I spotted a new shoot slowly coming out. Finally. And this one, as you can see, the smaller one over here, this is actually the second latest new leaf. And the reason why I believe why it's so much smaller than the previous one, which is over there, it is because I have brought it from its original place that it has a lot of sun, and also it just got settled in very well in the previous place. And when new shoots come out, I just find it is very encouraging that I know this plant is growing. It just takes some time. And what I did is I added an extra light to this big monster plant. And after adding the light, I think the plant really reacted to it, because you can see that these leaves are bending towards the grow light. Let's move on to the another side. I have another Monstera here. This Monstera is the variegated version. So what I spotted is there is a new growth. You can see over here. This new shoot just came out probably 2-3 days ago. And whenever you see the new tip coming out from the pedio, it just grows super quickly. It just takes a lot of time for it to grow out of the pedio. And if you can see in the stem at the moment, it seems pretty white. So I think this will probably be quite variegated, I think. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as the plant is growing, that's going to be fine. You don't need to be very variegated. It just needs to be healthy. And there's another one here. This is also a cutting of the same plant that I just showed you. This has been trying to push out since the day, well, not since the day I got it, but this has tried to push out since a couple of months ago. But because I didn't give it enough sunlight, it just didn't really manage to push out. So as you can see, this one, it has some kind of burnt edges. It was not able to push out the first time it tried. Maybe that's 4 months ago. And then each time it grows a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. And after I moved it to a more sun friendly location, as you can see right now, it has much more light that it can absorb. So then maybe that's the reason why this shoot finally has pushed out. All right, then let's move on to this big leaf over here. This one here is Philodendron Mcdowell. As you can see, this is lighter green. This is because this leaf just unfurled maybe a week ago and it is still very soft. So at the time when it's trying to kind of harden itself, this part actually flopped backward. But if you see that happen to your heart-shaped philodendron, it's probably not because the plant is not doing right. It's just because it just unfurled from cataphyll. It takes more time for it to harden itself. And another thing that makes me feel very interested is that there actually is probably a flower coming out from there. So I'll keep you updated if that really happened. Okay, then we can move on to another smaller one on this area. If you see this one here, this one is the Stephania Erecta. There actually is a new point of growth. I'm very impressed by that because now it's wintertime, it's supposed to go dormant, but apparently it really wants to grow again in January, February time. And it grows very slow. This point has started to push out maybe a week ago, and every day it grows a little bit and a little bit. So yeah, it probably takes a bit more time. And there is some more new growth here. This is my Philodendron Gloriosum. I have mentioned and featured this one in a separate video, and I haven't really showed the care tips, but I'm waiting for the time to come when this one unfurl. I will do a care tips video. And for the another side, this is the most impressive part. There is a flower coming out. So if this really managed to open up, I will do another video to show how the flower looks like. And let's hope that day is going to come. All right, then we're going to move on to this part over here. This is the big Strelitzia Nicolai. This one over here, I have bought it around September time. And at first I didn't really know if it is growing or it actually is not doing well, because it doesn't really push out any new leaf, even though there are new leaves there. But after maybe 3 months, I spotted this second one. If you see over here, this one grown out. But this one on the right hand side, this grown probably starting from around Christmas time. I'm very impressed because for Strelitzia Nicolai, it normally needs a lot of sunlight. That's why I just put it right next to the south-facing window. But because it is kind of next to a wall, it doesn't really have direct sunlight, not even a lot of light. So I think it's still doing fine from the growth point that I spotted. So for the grow tip for Strelitzia Nicolai is to water it not too frequently, but also make sure that you do water it, because the previous Strelitzia Nicolai that unfortunately died, it's because it was not watered enough. And then the root has rotted because they do not have enough water. And after I have watered them, the root did not have the capacity to drink up all of the water I gave. So all of the root has rotten out. So my experience told me that Strelitzia Nicolai, even though people do mention that do not water it a lot, I do think you should mostly keep the soil moist, and it takes quite some time for it to grow. And that's my experience. Just be a bit patient when it comes to Strelitzia Nicolai. All right, then another new growth. It's over here. This one here is the Philodendron Xanadu Gold. It is pretty slow grower when I just got it, but after it has pushed out the first new leaf, it grows quite often, even though in winter time. And if you see this leaf, it starts with a mature leaf. I got it like this. It has leaves like this, but after maybe 2 to 3 months, it slowly pushed out leaves with a lot of fingers. So this one just pushed out, so I'm happy about this. And the Syngonium Mojito over here. And then I also have this one over here. This is the Paraiso Verde. You see, there's a new shoot over here. And this is finally the leaf unfurled. I showed you in the Philodendron Gloriosum. This was still in the Catterfield when I filmed it, but now it finally unfurled. And yeah, I think Syngonium in general just never stop growing. Like this one is the Syngonium Pink Splash, and this one here is the Syngonium Wendlandii. This is the new leaf unfurled. And yeah, I also have the Albo over here. If you see it on the top, there's a lot of new growth. So I think that's about it. Yeah, there's a lot of new growth in the Golden Dragon as well, but it's almost like guaranteed, because as long as there's a new leaf when you bought it, it also have a baby cataphyll within the same new leaf. So yeah, these are all the new growth I have spotted. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the new growth during the winter in 2022. And if you are interested in this type of content, I also have an Instagram account, and please feel free to subscribe to my channel and you will get the notification next time when I have new video posted. I will have new videos coming up every week. So I will see you next time. Bye.